welcome to the Rookie Reset. My name is Andrea Fitzgerald. I'm gonna be hosting this show tonight. Now you may be wondering what the heck is a Rookie Reset? Well, friends, it would be evenings just like this, except your girl would be stressed the hell out because I could not manage my classroom. Quite frankly, I couldn't figure out this whole teaching thing. So what we do here on the Rookie Reset is provide you as a new teacher with practical tools, tips, and strategies to help you stay in the game. I'm the professional learning. I'm the PD that you need. Y'all might see my dog pop up in here every time to time. But he riding with me today. Ain't that right? Ain't that right, Nanu? You riding with me? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, so he riding with me today. He giving some practical tools, tips, and strategies. But today, y'all, we ain't even talking about no practical tools, tips, and strategies, y'all. I'm just talking about appreciation. It's Teacher Appreciation Week. I got to give love to the rookie teachers hanging in there, baby, all in the game, y'all. But I was thinking about this. I said, it's Teacher Appreciation Week, and I'm up here running my mouth weekly. But you know what? None of this happens without teachers. It does not happen without teachers. I tell people that all the time. I was like, man, teaching is a very noble profession. So today, you all, I want to shout out my FAB 5 of the most impactful teachers that I've had in my entire life, throughout my entire career. So I just want to share them with y'all. I'm gonna start all the way from the bottom to the top. And most of them, y'all, honestly, they've been in high school, and as a teacher myself. But these people have had so much impact, like mental fitness, rookies, playbook. None of this happens without these people. So I just got to give them so much love. I think sometimes as a teacher, and you may be feeling this, rookie teacher, you might be like, yo, like I'm not seeing the impact of what I'm doing. Like my first year, I'm screaming, I'm yelling every day. Um, and the reality is, like, man, I promise you, I'm not even standing here without these people. Um, they just have totally impacted me as a person. So I'm gonna start off by the first in my Fab 5 is Coach Manny Lowery, ML Lowery, Principal Lowery. Now he's a principal. Shout out to you, Principal Lowery. But before he was Principal Lowery, he was my PE teacher and my basketball coach. But when I took gym or whatever, like he could have easily, in there, he first of all, he taught me how to dance. Like we did the bus stop, y'all listen. Anyway, but one day we were in the back gym, and I used to shoot with my elbow out. Now I'm talking about follow through. Y'all remember loving basketball, that junk, how she had it like this? Baby, that thing, my follow through was like this. Well, he showed me how to shoot with my elbow in. Like it was out, and he like literally took the time, stayed in the back gym, and he taught me how to shoot the proper way. But because of that, after he taught me that, listen, your girl was dropping mid-range jumpers out here. You hear me? I was like wet every time I shot that thing. But that had a lot to do with him. But even as my coach, like he really challenged me. You know what I mean? Like when he first took over our program as our senior, we had a different coach. Most of us, all of our entire high school career, and he was like, "Yeah, you running point guard." I was like, "Oh." He's like, "If you want to play Division I basketball, this is what you got to do." So he really challenged me, supported me, and just really helped me evolve as a basketball player, but also as a person. So shout out to you, Coach Principal. I can't even call you Coach no more. You Principal Larry out here. But huge impact on me as a person. And I think one of the best things about Coach Larry, now let me tell you, now you gonna get some words. Now listen, when he was our coach, listen, he gonna give you some words. But the one thing that he is gonna do, he also gonna have your back. And he's gonna and he knew his players. Like I think that was one of the best things about him as a coach. Like he knew what every single one of us needed. Some of us, like, we could take all the smoke. Some people couldn't. You know what I mean? But he had a really good sense of what every player needed. And I think that takes that it takes a lot to do that. So shout out to you, Coach Larry. I think the second in the Fab 5 is Dr. Jones. Dr. Maddie Jones. She was my pre-Cal and Cal teacher. And I think what was so impactful about her was just her authenticity. But most important, she was the first Black math teacher I had. And I remember it was me, I think me and Erica. Shout out to you if you tuning in, but we were the only Black students in that class. So and I think maybe Marcus might have been in there with two, but it was only three of us, two or three of us. We was in there. But seeing her every day, being authentically herself, and also teaching a subject that a lot of times I questioned whether I should have been there or not, because it wasn't a lot of us, you know what I mean? Like we were the only like Black students in there. But she really, like, and it wasn't like she just said anything to me, but she just her just being herself, you know what I mean? And just being a Black teacher teaching a subject that you didn't see a lot of Black women in at the time, I thought was, it was really cool. It was really cool. So shout out to you. Now, the other teacher, number three, is Miss Wildman, baby. Miss Wildman, listen, if you went to Kirby High School, now, first of all, let me go ahead and just put this disclaimer. When I first saw Miss Wildman, now, the class that I took from Miss Wildman was African American Lit. Now, I pulled up in that thing, and she was blonde hair, blue eyed. I stand at the door. I was like, okay, girl, how you about to teach me about some African American Lit? Let's just talk about this. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. How you teaching me some about some African American Lit? Let's just talk about that. But it actually ended up being one of the best classes I've ever taken. And again, I think the headline for me was just her authenticity. She was unapologetically herself. Like, she didn't try to be somebody she wasn't. She was like, listen, I'm pulling up every day. I'm Pentecostal. I wear skirts. Just this what it is, okay? But just she was willing, like, class just wasn't class. Like, we just went in there reading books. Like, she literally made class come to life, because we would have, we like the conversation about race that people are having now. We had them things 20 years ago in the class, talking about it, like how it shows up, because it was such a diverse group of people in there. But also, I think one of the things that she really did well was she just created this community. As a class, it felt like we were a family. You know what I mean? Like, it felt like we were a family. She created this community where we were willing to have like these really difficult and direct conversations, you know what I mean? But especially about race, which is so sensitive. But we had, like, I think we had a soul food feast. We went to I had never even been there, the Underground Railroad in Memphis. We just did a lot of cool things, and even just it was just unique experiences that made learning come to life. So I think that was just awesome, that she did that. I also, someone else that number four for me is Miss Lovell. Shout out to Mary Lou Lovell. Now listen, if you go to Kirby High School, you gonna test a lot of people, but you ain't testing no Mary Lou Lovell. I'm just gonna tell you that right now, baby. Listen, listen. Now, I'm Miss Lovell, probably about 5 feet. She might be shorter than that, but let me tell you something. Who you not coming for? You ain't coming for no Mary Lou Lovell. Because the thing about Miss Lovell is, I think until I took a class, I had always had a challenge with my English class, like writing a 5-paragraph essay. Like, I think all the way back to 7th grade. Um, Even in my 9th grade class, writing my research paper. Like, I just was a lot of times very confused when it came to like writing papers and stuff like that. But she really, she taught me a lot of different things, as far as like, okay, how do you write a thank you card? How do you legit do a 5-paragraph essay? But I think the one of the things that I really loved about Miss Lovell is that she was very hard nosed, baby, and she was tough. Like, she was 5 feet, but listen, baby, you ask Miss Lovell, you say, Miss Lovell, I need help with this. I don't understand. You know what Miss Lovell will say to you? She say, I'm not gonna do it for you. And you'd be like, yo, Miss Lovell, like we started talking about it, be like, yo, I'm just asking you a question. But what she was really saying is, listen, I'm not gonna think for you. I want you to use your own brain and then get back to me. You know what I mean? But she was really challenging us to think. That's what she was doing. So I think that was one of the biggest things I took, but she pushed us to think and she held us accountable. So I really appreciate you. So shout out to you, Miss Lovell. Shout out to you. Listen. And I think the last people in the FAB 5, and it's three of them, but you know they my mentors. They the Kirby Crew. But they Miss Reid, Miss Holmes, and Miss Dickenson, baby, they taught me how to teach. None of this happens. The rookie playbook, what is great teaching, and none of this happens without them. I mean, they literally took me under their wing and they taught me how to be successful as a teacher. Okay, this is what you got to do. This is how you got to assess. This is how you got to check for understanding. This is how you got to explain it. I mean, they really, really supported me. Like, I was a brand new teacher. I didn't know what I was doing. Now, I'm still mad at y'all because y'all had me take them notes. Listen, y'all had me taking the notes all the time. Fitz gonna take the notes. I'm gonna take, and y'all know I don't even really like taking notes like that. But you know, they did. But they taught me what excellence was. I think that's the most important thing that I got from them. Like, this is what the bar of excellence looks like. This is what success looks like. This is how you do it. Because I'm telling you, the projections at our school were not the best, but listen, we got some results up in that thing. But I think a lot of it had to do with the team that we had, and my mentors. And so I think that's things somebody think about, especially as a new teacher, y'all. Like, mentors can change the game for you. You know, I think about that, just like you learn to, they say the first 7 years of a child's life are the most impactful and shape how you show up in the world. Listen, I think the same thing is true for a teacher. Those first 7 years are critical because it sets the foundation of what you think great teaching is. And they set such a strong foundation that when I became a coach, I was confused. Like, I was so confused. Like, I would go places and I'd be like, yo, like, what? This ain't how you do it. You know what I mean? And even some of the ones, like some of the places that were considered to be air quote premier schools or whatever like that, it's like it wasn't popping like that when I really got in there. So I think a lot of that has to do with the bar of excellence that these three women set for me. They showed me what great teaching would look like. So shout out to my mentors, Miss Holmes, Miss Reid, Miss Dixon. Now, this is just a bonus. I know I said 5, but this one, she wasn't a teacher, but she was really impactful in elementary school, and that's Miss Keel. Because during that time, the school we went to, it wasn't a lot of black students. Like, I could very easily be the only black student in my class, and it wasn't a lot in that school. But she was administrator at the time, which it wasn't a lot of those either. It wasn't a lot of African American administrators. I think she was like a assistant principal, but she really took us under her wing. You know what I mean? Those that were in the school. So I want to say shout out to you too, Miss Keel, because she wasn't my teacher, but I know she was an educator, and she I think just, it's important, I think, as a kid, for you to see people who are modeling excellence, because it sets the bar of what you can accomplish. I think sometimes, like, like, I think my parents kind of set the bar for me in some ways. So I just want to yeah, I think that was super duper impactful in my life. So I just want to say to all my educators that that you may not realize the impact that you have. As I think about this, I tell the story often in my heart speech. But as a student I had my second year, his name was Charles. And I asked Charles, I said, hey, Charles, can you do this problem? We were doing a do now or something. Man, he was like, Miss Fitzgerald, he was straight up, I ain't doing it. I ain't know what to say, Charles. But I felt the hair stand up on the back of my neck, because I said, I cannot repeat year 2. Because if I let him off the hook, then he probably wasn't gonna, then other students would be like, oh well, look, I'm just not gonna do the work. But I asked Charles to so instead what I said to him, I said, hey, I believe in you. How can I help you? And he Didn't do that problem, but he did do one later. And Charles ended up withdrawing. And yeah, he ended up withdrawing. And it was like 7 years later. It's on my planning period, and it's a student not here. Knock on my door. Boom, boom, boom. Who you think it is? It's Charles. And Charles, he said, hey Miss Fitzgerald, I just wanted to come by and see you. I was like, yo, you disappeared. What happened? He said he got locked up, but he said he wanted to come back and let me know that he was getting himself together. And I was one of his favorite teachers. Now, mind you, Charles had a lot of hobbies beside my math class. He skipped a lot, y'all. Like, I'm talking about, I might have seen dude like 3-4 times, for real, like straight up. And I thought about it, I was like, how am I his favorite teacher? We didn't have a ton of interactions. And the only one I thought about was that day when I said, hey, I believe in you. How can I help you? And so we often don't realize as teachers the impact that we have. Listen, the dude came to my class 4 times, y'all. And the only thing I could think of was that one day when I said that to him. And so, hold on a second. So the thing that we have to consider is, okay, shout out to my dog in the back, but we have a lot of impact on our students, and we may not even be aware of it. Like, we may not be aware of it, like those small micro moments. Because I had them for 4, I might have seen it 4 times, but we see students every day, like 180 days, and we have a ton of impact on our students. You know what I mean? And you may not even see it. That's the thing about it with teaching. Like, you may not see it in the moment, and it comes back later. But we are constantly impacting people's lives all the time. And so my big thank you to my message to you today is, I just want to say a big thank you to you. We see people on TV, we see the presidents, we see the basketball players, we see the football players, see the doctors, we see the lawyers. Hey, but guess what? You know what? Every single one of them, the one thing that we can agree on, they all had a teacher. And the impact that you have on lives, that sometimes isn't in notice. It's more than this one week, y'all. It's more than this one week. So I just want to say thank you to all of you all and the work that you all have done. And we will be back next week. And as you go out this week, now, first of all, y'all take care of yourself this week, because it's teacher appreciation. We want to get a look. But as you go out this week, I want you to keep what I call that rookie state of mind. Shout out to my dog. Okay. What's that fits? Remember, the level up is in the losses. Problems are a privilege. And yes, you might be new to this, but I know you're true to this because you're in this moment right now. I believe in each one of you. So get out there this week and do those rookie reset push-ups. I believe in y'all.